What's up, guys? So Ben Mears TV back again, and this is my Elimination Chamber predictions. Now the Chamber's 3 weeks out, well, just under 3 weeks out. No official matches. The Chamber qualifier matches start this next week on Raw. I don't know if there's going to be any on SmackDown. So we're going to have 3 men from Raw, 3 men from SmackDown, 3 women from SmackDown, 3 women from Raw as well. I'm going to guess 2 of the other matches, because I think they're going to be quite obvious. Now, let's get into it. So, for my first match, I actually have AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. Now, this match needs no build, and I actually think that Becky Lynch wins this match, and then they have another match at Mania. It makes sense with it being in Chicago, you know, Chicago and AJ Lee's connection, obviously due to CM Punk. Now, that match sells, and I don't know how well the Chamber tickets are doing selling wise, but I think that match is one that is made for Chicago, and then, you know, it'll end with some shenanigans, and then it's going to lead into WrestleMania this time. So overall in this match, I do have Becky Lynch coming out on top, and I have a drop in the title to AJ at Mania, but that is a separate video. So on to the next one. Now, I have Finn Balor versus CM Punk. I think this is pretty much all but confirmed for the Chamber. Punk is going to win. Obviously, we're getting Punk Roman at Night 2 main event of Mania. So it's a quite easy one to have Punk win. But I think there might be some Judgment Day costing on Finn. I think some shenanigans might happen. Overall, you know, Finn Balor, CM Punk, they had an amazing match in Belfast on Monday Night Raw 3 weeks ago. But, yeah, it's Chicago. CM Punk needs to be on the card. Will it be the main event? No. It'll probably be the match before the main event, I'd like to say. Or the opening match. They don't usually tend to have the Chamber matches at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view not be a main event, but, you know, Finn Balor, CM Punk could be. But the reason I don't have it as a main event is because of what I think is going to happen in the men's Rumble. But CM Punk, again, Chicago, he has the star power. He's a Chicago hero. He is the biggest thing in Chicago. Obviously, I'm from the UK, so I don't know anything else. But, yeah, I just see a world that CM Punk doesn't main event this because of what I predict is going to happen inside the men's chamber. So let's go on to the women's chamber next. Now, for the women's chamber, I see there being quite a few potential options. So Liv looks like she's going to be going after the women's world title. I don't think she'll be having a match with Stephanie. Now, as good as that would be, I still think that Raquel's going to capture that title. Now, there's a few ways that they can do the women's chamber to keep it interesting. One of them is Roxanne winning it, you know, having like an underdog story, and she goes against the other 2 Judgment Day women. That's how you get to that match, in my opinion, as a triple threat for that world title. Overall, that is a good match, in my opinion, and that is the way I want it to go. Do I think they're going to pull the trigger on Roxanne now? No. What I think might happen is Charlotte Flair wins it, because they've teased Jade and Charlotte. I know we've kind of been building to a potential match between Jade and Charlotte and Alexa at Mania. I just don't see that happening with the fact that Bianca didn't come back at the Rumble. Now, if you was going to bring her back, you bring her back at the Rumble. And with how severe her hand injury is, I've heard rumours that she may never wrestle again. I'm hoping she's back. I want to see the dream match between her and Jade Cargill. So the other option they could do is Jordan Grace, because they're teasing the hell out of that. But I think that could be a potential match for this card. But who I'm wanting to win is Roxanne Perez. Who I think will win is Charlotte Flair. I just feel they are going to do the Charlotte Jade match. Do it now while they're both, you know, still very good talents. We've missed many matches before with, you know, people just not having the chance to wrestle in their primes against each other and whatnot. So as much as we wanted Jade Bianca, I don't think we're getting that. I don't think we're getting Bianca back till at least next year now. So onto the men's rumble, and this is where it kind of gets really interesting inside the rumble, and the story, not the rumble, the chamber. The story gets interesting. I think the outcome is a quite obvious one. So for me, the men's chamber is the quite most interesting match with who is going to be in the match. I don't think Jacob Fatu is going to be in it. I think he's going to find himself getting that WrestleMania match against Drew McIntyre another way. Now, I see Cody Rhodes being in this match. I see Dominic Mysterio being in the match. And that's kind of it so far. Now, I see, overall, I do see Cody Rhodes coming out on top in the chamber, setting up a triple threat for him, Jacob, and Drew. And I think he's going to win the strap back at Mania. I don't think Drew walks out of Mania champ. I don't think he's a great champion at the minute. But he's not had a proper feud, really. I think Sammy goes in the chamber to tease it. You know, I think we're going to get Sammy at Mania 43 in Saudi Arabia. But I think the bigger story is the Judgment Day breaks up at the Elimination Chamber. I think Raquel turns on Liv. And I also think that Finn Balor obviously is going to be costed the world title, or just lose and crash out against CM Punk. I actually see him entering the chamber and somehow costing Dominic Mysterio, because I think that's the way they're going to do it, and that's how him and Dom will get to a match at Mania. He's kind of written, Finn is so over right now, you know, there's a lot of promotion for him, and so this should be. He's so good in ring, you know, there's so much talent. And I just see the Elimination Chamber in such a heavy wrestling city, such as Chicago, where you break up the Judgment Day. I think it's about do, and then you can just build on that story for WrestleMania. So yeah, I see Cody Rhodes winning the chamber. I think it's quite obvious that they are going to have the triple threat with him, Jacob Fatu, and Drew McIntyre. And that's probably going to be night one's main event, because Roman and Punk's got to be night two. So let me know your guys' thoughts on my entire chamber take. I think there could be some other matches. I don't think they're going to do Jade, Jordan Grace. I think they're going to put Jordan Grace in the chamber. And Stephanie, she won't go in the chamber event. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on her and anyone else for a title match for a while now. So I think it's quite set in stone that they're the only titles that can be rarely defended, unless they're going to stick the tag team titles on, and I just don't see the Usos having a match there, and I don't see the MFTs having a match, if I'm being honest. When they're going to defend them tag titles, I don't know, but the whole tag division on SmackDown is another debate for another day. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share mainly. I'm still trying to grow this page. And yeah, peace. I'll catch you in the next one.